How could you do this to me, Ethan? I screamed, my voice cracking, 6 months pregnant and trembling in our living room doorway. He stood there, arms crossed, face cold, like I was the problem. That moment shattered everything I thought. We had our marriage, our future, our daughter's world before she was even born. My name's Lauren Mitchell. I'm 32, a single mom to my radiant 1-year-old Ava. A year ago, betrayal ripped my life apart, leaving me to rebuild alone while carrying my baby girl. This is a story of heartbreak, resilience, and finding strength in the ashes of a broken dream. Stay with me, because the raw emotion of losing everything and rising for my daughter will grip you. And if you've ever had to start over after being betrayed, this will feel like your own victory. It started with a knock at my door. My friend Hannah stood there, pale, eyes wide with unease. "Lauren, I need to talk," she said, stepping inside, her voice shaky. She hesitated, then blurted, "I saw Ethan with Sophie at a hotel. They were leaving a room together, and they kissed." My stomach plummeted, the world tilting. Ethan, my husband, and Sophie, my best friend since college? It couldn't be. "Are you sure?" I stammered, my voice trembling. "It's a serious accusation, Hannah." She nodded, her face etched with regret. "I was visiting my brother at the hotel. I saw them, Lauren. I'm so sorry." Her words hit like a freight train, my chest tightening as tears pricked my eyes. The man I loved, the father of my unborn child, and the friend I trusted most had betrayed me. I sank onto the couch, breath ragged, my world crumbling. That night, I waited for Ethan, my heart pounding, anger and dread twisting in my gut. He walked in, casual as ever, tossing his keys on the counter, loosening his tie. I didn't let him pass the kitchen. "How long, Ethan?" I asked, voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. He frowned, confused, then hardened. "What are you talking about?" "Don't lie," I snapped. "Hannah saw you with Sophie at a hotel. You kissed her. Tell me the truth." His scowl deepened, and he scoffed. "Hannah's delusional. She probably saw something innocent and twisted it. You're paranoid, Lauren." But his eyes darted away, his voice too defensive. I clenched my fists, rage rising. "She's not delusional. And you know it. She saw you leaving a room with Sophie. Stop insulting me and tell the truth." He paced, throwing his hands up like he was the victim. "You're blowing this out of proportion. Sophie and I are just friends. Hannah's wrong." His excuses were flimsy, guilt written in his tense shoulders, his refusal to meet my gaze. Then I felt Ava kick, a flutter in my belly, grounding me in the chaos. My voice softened, laced with pain. "Do you even care about us, Ethan? Your daughter feels this, feels me breaking because of you." His eyes flicked to my belly, but his face stayed cold. "This isn't about the baby," he said flatly. "Don't make it dramatic." My heart sank. "Dramatic?" I repeated, voice rising. "I'm 6 months pregnant, and you're cheating with my best friend. You're destroying our family before Ava's even born." Ethan sighed, exasperated, like I was a burden. "It just happened, okay? I can't help how I feel. Things haven't been the same, Lauren. Look at yourself. You've changed." His voice turned cruel, eyes raking over me. "I'm not attracted to you anymore. You're a mess. All you do is complain. Your back hurts, you're tired, you're swollen. You act like you're the only woman who's ever been pregnant. It's pathetic." He sneered, venom dripping. "And let's be honest, you've let yourself go. You're huge, waddling around in sweatpants, hair a greasy mess. Sophie's gorgeous, fun, takes care of herself. You're just needy. I'm done pretending." His words were knives, slicing through my dignity, my worth. I'd expected denial, not this brutal attack. The man who'd vowed to love me was tearing me apart, humiliating me while I carried his child. My throat tightened, tears burning, but I refused to let them fall. "You don't care," I whispered, voice breaking. "Not about me, not about Ava, not about us." He shrugged, indifferent. "I've moved on, Lauren. You should too." That was it. The man I loved was gone, replaced by this stranger. I stood, numb, as he walked away, leaving me to pick up the pieces of our shattered life. The next day, I packed 2 suitcases, unable to stay in a house steeped in memories of a lie. Every corner, our wedding photo, Ava's half-finished nursery, felt suffocating. My mom, Diane, had offered her home for support during my pregnancy, and now I had no choice. When I arrived, she was at the door, arms open, face lined with worry. "Oh, honey," she said, pulling me into a hug. I collapsed, sobbing into her shoulder, the dam breaking. "It's okay, Lauren," she whispered. "You and Ava will be fine. I'm here." In her embrace, I felt safe for the first time in days, broken but held together by her love. Life at Mom's was quieter, but the pain lingered. She cooked my favorite lasagna, sat with me at night, talking about anything but Ethan. But alone, I'd unfold Ava's tiny onesies, wondering how I'd raise her solo. I'd pick up my phone, tempted to call Ethan, to scream, to beg for answers, but I stopped myself. What was the point? He'd made his choice, abandoning us without a backward glance. Weeks passed, and his silence was deafening. No texts, no calls, no care for Ava. At first, I checked my phone obsessively, hoping for a sign, dreading it too. Eventually, I stopped, boxing up his photos, his old shirts, shoving them deep in a closet. He'd erased us, and his absence screamed louder than any fight. Pregnancy was brutal alone. Exhaustion, swollen ankles, and the weight of betrayal drained me. Mom was a rock, but nights were the worst, tears soaking my pillow as I wondered why I wasn't enough. Ava's kicks kept me going, her tiny life my anchor. When she arrived, everything changed. Holding her, her tiny fingers curling around mine, I felt whole. Her big, bright eyes sparkled, and for the first time in months, I wasn't broken. Ethan's absence didn't matter. Only Ava did. She was my miracle, worth every tear, every sleepless night. The first weeks with Ava were a blur of feedings and learning to be a mom. Mom helped, but I pushed myself to do it alone, proving I didn't need Ethan. Loneliness crept in, though, seeing dads at the park, hearing friends talk about shared parenting duties. It stung, but Ava's smiles, her soft coos, washed it away. She was my world, and I had everything I needed in her. Months later, when Ava was 3 months old, I ventured to the mall, leaving her with Mom for a rare break. Walking through the bustling corridors, browsing baby stores, I felt a flicker of normalcy. Then a voice called, "Lauren!" I turned, and my heart stopped. Sophie, pale, eyes red, her belly slightly swollen. Before I could move, she rushed over, tears streaming. "Lauren, I'm so sorry," she sobbed, grabbing my arm. I froze, caught off guard. She looked broken, nothing like the confident friend I'd known. "I know you hate me," she choked out. "But Ethan left me. He lost his job, started gambling, drinking. When I told him I was pregnant, he walked out. I'm so sorry, Lauren. You didn't deserve this. I was selfish, stupid. Please forgive me." Her sobs echoed in the mall, passers-by glancing over, but I stood still, a storm of emotions swirling, anger, pity, a strange emptiness. I'd imagined this moment, her begging for forgiveness, but now it felt hollow. "Please," she whispered, trembling. "I wish I could undo it." I stared, her tear-streaked face blurring. Without a word, I turned and walked away, leaving her crying. I'd dreamed of vengeance, but this wasn't it. I felt nothing, just a quiet resolve to keep moving forward. When I got home, the day's surreal weight grew heavier. There, on Mom's front steps, sat Ethan, slouched, reeking of alcohol. He looked like a stranger, hair messy, clothes wrinkled, eyes bloodshot. "Lauren," he mumbled, struggling to stand. "I needed to see you." Anger surged, my breath catching. "What are you doing here?" I snapped. He swayed, leaning on the railing. "I'm sorry, Lauren. I love you. Love Ava. Please let me come back. I'll fix everything." His voice cracked, but the stench of whiskey and his pathetic slump fueled my disgust. "Sorry?" I repeated, voice thick with disbelief. "You left us, Ethan, when I was pregnant. Now you're here drunk, talking about love?" He ran a hand through, his hair, shoulders sagging. I screwed up. Lost my job, my money, everything. "I can't stop thinking about you, Ava. I love you. Give me a chance." His tears glistened, but his words rang hollow. "Love?" I said, trembling. "Where was your love when I was alone? In the hospital, giving birth? You abandoned us. You don't get to play victim now." He sobbed, gripping the railing. "I've changed, Lauren. Please, let me be in Ava's life. I'll do anything." A lump rose in my throat. Memories of his cruelty flashing, his sneers, his betrayal. Part of me wanted to believe him for Ava's sake, but the pain he'd caused anchored me. "No, Ethan," I said, voice steady. "Ava and I are better without you. You made your choice. Live with it." His sobs grew louder, but I stepped past, unlocking the door and closing it behind me, leaving him in the dark. Inside, I leaned against the door, the day's weight crashing down. In one day, Sophie and Ethan, the two who'd shattered my world, had returned, broken by their own choices. I hadn't needed to fight. They'd unraveled themselves. Upstairs, I peeked into Ava's room. She slept, her tiny face glowing in the nightlight's soft light, peaceful and perfect. I kissed her forehead, love and gratitude flooding me. I thought back to that night, screaming at Ethan, my world collapsing. I'd been betrayed, humiliated, left alone to carry Ava. But through the tears, the sleepless nights, I'd rebuilt with dignity, for her. Now, I stood tall while Sophie and Ethan faced their wreckage. Ava was my purpose, my joy, and our life was beautiful. Not despite the pain, but because I'd risen above it. That was my redemption, and it was enough.